Hi guys, thank you for clicking on this video. Welcome back to the channel. I'm coming to you from Faro in Portugal. I've planned myself a little solo week away from my freelance business. I'm taking a whole week off and I have flown from Newquay Airport, which is just 15 minutes from my house, to Faro here in Portugal. My flight got in quite late last night, around 11 p.m, and I literally hopped in a taxi and headed straight to my hostel. Quite a funny story there, I actually went to the wrong hostel initially. The taxi just dropped me outside this hostel which had the same name as the one I'm staying in, and there were some girls leaving the hostel, so I was like, oh, hold the door, ran in. Reception desk was dead. I was like, oh, this is really strange. Even though I stood at reception desk, I thought I would just call the number that I have for reception, and I was ringing it and the phone in front of me wasn't ringing, and then this guy answered and was like, oh, that's actually not the right hostel, you're in the one that's literally like a similar name to ours but is like literally around the corner. Bless his heart, he was like, stay where you are, I'm coming to get you. And yeah, he came and found me, rescued me, carried my suitcase. I was so close, I was literally like 1 minute around the corner, but I just thought it was so funny. He was like, oh, don't worry, we knew you were arriving late, because I did email before and tell them that my flight would be getting in quite late. He was like, it's absolutely fine, don't worry, we were waiting for you, we were expecting you. And when I got to that hostel, it was just such an amazing experience. They were so welcoming, they showed me around, but obviously, as I said, I got in quite late, so it was probably about 11:30 by the time I got to bed. I literally just found my bunk bed. I was top bunk, literally like just got into my pajamas, brushed my teeth quickly and just got into bed. I think I was just running off like adrenaline and tiredness, but the flight itself was only 2 hours, so it was actually quite a smooth travel journey. It felt like I got here really quickly. This morning I have just had breakfast at the hostel. They give you free pancakes, which is really cute and wholesome. Sat around and had pancakes with everyone, and now I am spending the day in Faro before I get my bus later to Seville. I really wanted to make the most of living so near to Newquay Airport, so I decided to fly to Faro in Portugal, and then from here you can get a 2.5-hour bus to Seville in Spain, which goes over the border. And yeah, I just thought that would be such a cool experience to do and make the most of being able to fly from Newquay, but also getting to see more of Europe. I feel like once you get to Europe, you can get yourself around very easily via train. I did this last summer when I went interrailing for 6 weeks, and it's incredibly easy just to hop from country to country. My bus to Seville isn't till 5 o'clock and it's 10:30 now, so I've got a good 6-7 hours to kill. I've left my suitcase at the hostel, even though I checked out. They've let me leave my luggage there, so I've got basically a free 6 hours to spend in Faro. So I think I'm gonna go and check out some of like the old town, and then I really want to go to the Bone Chapel, which is like this really old chapel made of skulls, which sounds very morbid now I've said it out loud, but it's meant to be a really cool like tourist attraction, so I'm gonna check that out for sure. A whole walking tour of people just walked past me and I got embarrassed. After I've done my 5 nights in Seville, I come back here on the Saturday, stay Saturday night, and then I fly home on the Sunday. So yeah, it's kind of like a bit of a round trip. I have visited Portugal quite a few times now, but I haven't really done a lot of Spain. More on that later. Let's go and explore Faro and see what there is to do here. Maybe I should just follow the walking tour, because they're obviously going to be going through the hotspot. They're going in that direction. Shall I tag on? I don't know. I don't think it's in English, so I'm not really going to understand. Nah, I'm going to do my own thing. I've got this. I feel like I have a really good sense of direction as well when I'm travelling. I'm not great at following a map, and obviously I went to the wrong hostel, so you're probably thinking, Lisa, are you sure about that? But once you plonk me in the middle of like a European city and I have navigated myself, like say I've gone from my hostel to the old town, I will be able to get myself back without looking at a map. Like I have quite a good memory when it comes to what streets I walk down. Maybe that's because I'm like being hyper vigilant because I am on my own. I've got no one else to rely on basically, so you have to be aware of your surroundings at all times, because that's just what it's like as a solo traveller, especially a female solo traveller. I'm just walking up some cute little streets now and we can have a look. Stone Chapel ticked off behind me there. That was really cool, but kind of creepy at the same time to think that quite literally those were once people, now skulls. And like the sign said, we're all going to end up like that. Oh, it's kind of giving me chills. That was one of the main tourist attractions I think that I really wanted to check out, that I'd heard of before and wanted to see while I was here. I'm not sure there's too much else to do, to be honest, given that I don't have much time. I believe that most people that come to Faro often go on little boat trips, or you can go to the beach, but I don't really have the time to be hopping around boats and yeah, taking loads of time out of the day, because I do have my bus to catch in a few hours. So I'm not really too sure what I'm going to do now. Maybe just mooch around the shops and grab some lunch, maybe read my book by the water or something. I always knew that this was going to be quite a chilled day anyway, and it's kind of fine by me. The sun is shining and I can definitely be in worse places than Europe on a Monday. I'm very happy. And just like that, we're back in the old town. I like how they've got these like shades over the streets that keep it quite cool. It's about 26 degrees, but honestly I thought I was going to be a lot more uncomfortably hot than I am. I think Seville might be a different story. I've heard it's mega hot there and you need to like really stay hydrated and yeah, wear sun cream and stuff. I am wearing sun cream today, but I don't feel like I maybe even needed it. It doesn't feel like at all too much. It kind of feels like how Cornwall's been feeling in the summer. Beautiful. Faro is lovely and the people are so friendly. I absolutely adore Portugal. It's one of my favourite places in the world that I've been to. This looks like a nice spot to stop and read my book maybe. Dilemma, guys. So basically when I booked this trip, I booked a bus from Faro to Seville on Flixbus, which I've used many times before. I booked it for 4 o'clock and I had an email a week ago saying, we're so sorry, we've had to delay your bus by an hour, so the new time is 5:05 p.m. So I was like, okay, that's fine. But on my app and on my ticket it still says 4:05 p.m. So now I'm like, oh, I don't know whether to chance it and go an hour later. Do I trust the email? It looked like it came from a legit Flixbus account and it had all the details on there and it said your ticket's still valid, it's just that we're an hour delayed, so it means I get to Seville an hour later as well, which is fine. I just don't know whether to trust it or not, because I'll be so annoyed if I miss that bus. I'm going to be stuck in Faro for a night and I don't have anywhere to stay. So I thought, okay, what I'll do is I'll walk to the bus station and I'll just ask, and that'll clear everything up, because I can just say to them, what time is the bus to Seville? Went to what I thought was the bus station. Woman was like, you need to go next door, like super moody. So I went next door and then they had these help desks and then there was just this sign on each help desk like no Flixbus information. But it said it on all of them, so I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to be that person. So I went up to the lady and I was like, I'm so sorry, I know it says no Flixbus, but where do I get the Flixbus information? And she just looked me dead in the face and was like, outside, like really rude. So I went outside, there's no one outside. So I found the bus stop, that's a positive. I actually know where the place is. I've seen the Flixbus sign now and I know exactly where I'm being picked up. But what do? Do I chance it and just trust that the email's correct? Or do I go an hour early and risk just hanging around for an hour? To be honest, I think I'm going with the latter and thinking it's better to be safe than sorry, and I'll be so fuming if I miss this bus. So I think what I probably will do is head there for just before 4 o'clock. And then at least if it doesn't show up, I'm kind of near the water. I can be back to like the front here in 5 minutes or so. If I have to wait around, I have to wait around. It'll be worth it.